Welcome to my channel, KC. That's me, Carrie Chug, the Sludge Storyteller, here to talk about the wonderful world of storytelling and open up discussion about how we can tell the best stories we can. In this case, through movies, everything good and bad from a storytelling standpoint. This time, we're going into the world of serials back in time. So to those not familiar, movie serials came out in the 1930s and kept going on into the 50s. They were movies broken into segments, usually around 20 minutes and often combining to 3 to 4 hours. It'd be something for kids to watch on the weekends. Each segment would end with the hero in peril, where it looked like he had no escape, so you had to watch the next segment to see how he escaped. And some of them, they really toed the line as far as what you could realistically accept. I'll be talking mainly about the superhero serials these next several videos, starting with what is widely considered to be the best, The Adventures of Captain Marvel. Generally, the superhero serials are divided between two movie studios, Columbia Pictures and Republic Pictures. Both made their serials on low budgets, but Republic was the smaller studio and ironically had better production value because they were more invested in making them, since outside of that, their revenues were coming mainly from their biggest star for that time, John Wayne. Columbia was a little more prolific with their feature films, and so they weren't as invested in their serials, and it does show. The Adventures of Captain Marvel was about the hero we now call Shazam, yet the big hero was played by Tom Tyler. Besides Captain Marvel, 2 years later, he played the title role in the serial The Phantom. When you look over his filmography, you'll see that in the vast majority of his movies, he was just a face in the crowd. As far as I could tell, the only other title role he had was The Mummy. He was no doubt given the role because of physical qualifications. He had been a prolific weightlifter, and besides, you see that aptitude well demonstrated here. So while he wasn't the best when it came to having someone with a strong acting talent, but there's a jolt that comes through with his impressive strength in action. Now, I've been open about being a sucker when it comes to convincing feats of strength in movies, so this aspect put a lot of points on the board of favorability for me, and thankfully they didn't mess up enough on other factors to make it a piece of crap. Frank Coughlin, who played Billy Batson, was a heavily in-demand actor during his childhood and during the silent film era. After that, he was busy. Just the bigger the role, the smaller the budget. His time playing Billy Batson was given its due when he was given a small part in an episode of the Filmation live action Shazam series as a zoo employee. He just might have given the strongest performance played throughout the serial. That's not too much to brag about. Though he was 25 years old at the time playing a teenager, he shines as the innocent, kid-like, aw shucks mannerisms. They come through the way they should. It's Billy Batson personified. It has been well established that movie serial scripts often were repurposed into stories that they weren't originally meant to be for. It feels like that did happen here. In the Captain Marvel comic books of the Golden Age, the origin story plays out where Billy Batson follows a shadowy stranger into the subway. Then it plays much like the 2019 movie where he encounters Shazam, who grants him the powers of Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury. But here, in this movie serial, Billy's part of an archaeological excavation in Egypt before he finds himself sealed in a crypt where he has that same encounter with Shazam. Also here in Egypt comes forth another common serial trope, the MacGuffin. To the uninitiated, that's a storytelling term for the special thing that both opposing sides in a story are after. Think whatever Indiana Jones and the bad guys are fighting over. In this case, it's the solar reflective pieces of a golden scorpion.
We can soon find
Those
out.
pieces are divvied up among the members of the
lenses.
expedition. We get to see much action that makes full use of the newly crowned Captain Marvel before everyone comes back to the US. And naturally, someone wants all those pieces and starts killing off members of that crew because they want possession of the whole thing and its powers. The supporting cast performs as they are expected to perform at the serial level, better scripted than most. The effects are probably as good as they come at any level for that time, seeing how no one was really trying to create anything better. Most filmmakers were more devoted to making down-to-earth movies. It's pretty obvious that they are using a dummy for flight effects, but you get the point, and this is often critiqued more favorably than the flight effects of the Superman serials, discussion of which I'll reserve for that video. Tom Tyler does get some minor flight footage with what front projection techniques could do back then. Props used for Captain Marvel to exhibit his strength with are sometimes convincing, sometimes, again, not so convincing. And one thing worth mentioning, and somewhat shocking thing that's in this serial, and this is a superhero show. It's meant for kids, and well, some content we get like the final verdict. Well, if you can get through any movie serial, you'll easily get through this and find enjoyment in it. If you've never watched a serial before and feel iffy about it, start with this one. You'll find out quickly if it's worth looking into any of the others. I pointed out in my last video about the failed Captain America TV pilots that they were a key step in determining what works and making a good live-action superhero movie as well as what doesn't work. This was one of many baby steps, and here the superhero started to get his foot into the Hollywood door. So that's my take on the adventures of Captain Marvel. Thank you for watching. Agree, disagree, something I left out, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please click like. If you like this channel, please click subscribe or follow me on Instagram. As always, the link to order Sledge number 1 and number 2 through Indie Planet is below the description there, and it's available through both digital and paper format. Digital format, a little less sticker shock, but there's Sledge number 1 is also available through Amazon Kindle. But let's all try to find civility in this world. There's only got one, and let's try to get along. Let's try to do what we can to be welcoming and befriend everybody. But everyone be safe and God bless.